could have been different.
Match number 67, RCB versus Gujarat Titans, locking horns for the second time. A revenge match for both the teams. A cracking of a contest coming up. Both the teams looking up for good performances to deliver. RCB would be using this match to completely seal off their playoffs chances. Gujarat Titans, on the other hand, looking the champion team with the Midas touch, touching anything that turns into gold for them. This is the pre-match show analysis, and I take delight to welcome my distinguished guests, Devashish Sen, Prantik Mujumdar and Joydeep Mukherjee. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining. First things first, I'll begin straight away with Joydeep Mukherjee, sir. Joydeep, sir, this match, Gujarat Titans, well, I don't think there is much to say about them because this is one particular team and there's any errors as compared to the other teams. But on the other hand, RCB has that win-loss conundrum with them, somehow not getting very good with their performances. This match is going to be very important for them. What should be Faf du Plessis' mindset today?
Yeah, as you rightly put it, RCB has a lot of baggage with their name for all these years, which Gujarat doesn't. They're a new team. Nobody expected them to do well. And RCB has been in the IPL from its inception. And because of the names that they've had, because of the players that they've had, the stars that they've had, and the franchise it's a glitz, glamour, razzmatazz. Along with that, you also need the trophies. So KKR also comes with that, but they have got a couple of trophies and the runner-up. Comparatively, Mumbai, Hyderabad, not so much, but Chennai and Hyderabad are two franchises which are more, not so much of show, but really get the job done. And I give huge credit here to Hyderabad because they were probably on paper, not this year, but the years in the past, with 5 players, literally. David Warner, Johnny Bairstow, Manish Pandey, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, Rashid Khan. 5 guys, and the other 6 kept rotating. And every year they made it to the playoffs. Like a solid Atletico Madrid team. Always there. Always giving Barcelona and Real Madrid a run for their money. So similarly, RCB has that baggage behind them. Everybody's saying this is your year. Okay, all these years you had the batting, now you have the bowling. And they do. For the first time, they have the batting and the bowling. But that's on paper. Fortunately, this game is played on grass and on a cricket pitch. So that's where they've had ups and downs. They've blown hot and cold. And this game is about being consistent. In the history of IPL, teams that have been consistent have won. And Mumbai and Chennai have been the 2 most consistent teams in the IPL, which is why they've won it 9 times between them. So all I'm saying here is that RCB, when I see these 2 teams, it's a heavyweight fight. It's a 12-round one. But everybody's got their A game. And Gujarat more often has had their A game than RCB has. Today, I'm looking forward to both of them having an A game. And I read the pitch report. It says it's a hardest track that Shane Watson has ever seen. And he's seen a few hard tracks in his life, coming from Australia. So I'm looking forward to this contest, really.
True. Very good observation. And an important update I would like to share, that is the Gujarat Titans have won the toss and they have elected to bat first. Devashish sir, I'll come to you. The match taking place at the Wankhede. And इसी मौके पे रीमा मल्होत्रा को मैं स्वागत करती हूँ. बिल्कुल सही वक्त पे आए हैं आप. So as Devashish sir, I was going to ask you is that the match is going to take place at the Wankhede. Gujarat Titans have won the toss and elected to bat. For quite a lot of time, we're not seeing the regularity of the 200-plus man, 50, 160 games. Suddenly, yesterday was an exception. Suddenly a 200 match came up. 2 questions to you. Number 1, do you feel it is a good choice by Gujarat Titans to opt to bat first? Number 1. And what is the score that you would predict on this pitch?
Yeah, answering your first question, batting first, Gujarat Titans winning the toss, I think it's a good thing to do because they have proved time and again in this tournament that they have chased targets and they have good finishes in their side with the likes of Tewatias, the David Millers, the Rashid Khans. So it's kind of it will be good for them ahead of the playoffs. And
Yes, sir.
they have made a very good change in having Lockie Ferguson back in the side with his
Yes,
pace. As Joyinda said in the pitch report, the Wankhede wicket looks fast with lot of grass. So he brings in that extra bit of pace, which is handy. One would have assumed that they would be making a lot of changes with the place being guaranteed, but that is not the case. So that proves that their intent into the playoffs with high on confidence. So that's a good thing to have happened. And as far as the scores are concerned, mm, I won't be surprised if it's another high scoring affair tonight. Damini.
Another high scoring game to be expected. Prantik sir, I'll come to you. In the previous encounter, we saw Gujarat Titans showing their mettle upon RCB. How do you feel the RCB players would, grab hold of the corrections from the previous match, the errors that they made, and they would come up in this game? Like, time and again, we've had talking about, if referred to RCB's batting, we would say Faf, then Virat Kohli's form being a concern, Rajat Patidar, Glenn Maxwell from the RCB's top order, then from the bowler side, Josh Hazelwood, Mohammad Siraj, not quite clicking. How do you feel they would take up, the corrections from the previous match and get into this game?
Yeah, just on this, Mohammad Siraj is missing out. Sid Kaul is in. That's a big blow.
Yeah, that's a big blow. And I think I don't know about high scoring, low scoring. Hopefully it is, but just like yesterday, I think what we all want to see is a competitive game. I think from an RCB perspective, they have so much to play for. So yes, they could be under pressure, but I don't know. Something tells me this is the game for them to just go out and express themselves. They have they'll probably be chasing a fairly decent total on this Wankhede. And I think first things first, right? I think the bowling again, Siraj isn't playing, but again, Siraj, Hazelwood, Kaul, they've got to figure out a way to kind of keep this Gujarat side quiet
Yes,
because
sir.
look at the opening combination. That's worked. Yesterday you saw what KL and De Kock did. Today you never know with Saha and Gill. They could sort of repeat something. So it's not just
Yes.
the lower middle order or the middle order, but it's the opening combination as well, right? So I think the first big challenge at hand is how do you sort of keep the Gujarat Titans quiet in the power play? For that matter, even Siraj has been fairly
Yes.
expensive. Hazelwood has to figure a way back. So I think it's on these bowlers, and I think Siddharth Kaul, he's whether it's a domestic or in the IPL, he's been an interesting customer. So I think I'm hoping that
Yes.
there is someone who can drive that sort of economy rate, even if they can't sort of chip in and take a lot of wickets. So first things first is that. I think the other is on the batting. Faf takes time, but then can be explosive, can play the long game. Bangalore has some hitters as well, but an interesting lesson to learn from Gujarat is, focusing on boundaries than sixes. Gujarat has the highest number of boundaries, but I think the least number of sixes, right? That's a very interesting way to sort of minimize your risk. You're scoring big, fours are very, very powerful, but again, it's a very interesting, and again, it's not a one-off thing. It's happened throughout the tournament that there is been a good amount of focus on sort of scoring fours more than sixes, right? So you sort of take, kind of manage your risk better as opposed to someone like a Glenn Maxwell who would usually tend to sort of, go take the aerial route. So I think it's about batting smart. It's about, value shots. It's about minimizing your risk. Now, of course, a lot depends on, again, how much can a GT be restricted for. So I think a lot today depends to me. I think given the toss that RCB has lost, to me, it's about can they restrict GT below 170? If they can do that, I think they'll fancy their chances and, they'll sort of increase their probability of making it through the qualifiers.
ट्रू, वेरी ट्रू। रीमा मैम, आप पे आऊंगी। गुजरात टाइटंस की बॉलिंग, गुजरात टाइटंस की सीमर्स की जो डेथ की इकोनॉमी है इस आईपीएल में दी बेस्ट है, 9.26 की। आपके मुताबिक आपको क्या लगता है कि गुजरात टाइटंस की सीमर्स के अप्रोच में आप ऐसा क्या डिफरेंट उम्फ देखती हैं जो उन्हें सेट अपार्ट करती है दूसरे टीम के बॉलर से या दूसरे टीम की सीमर्स से? और आज के इस मैच में भी आपको क्या मतलब आप क्या कहेंगी कि आरसीबी की सीमर्स और गुजरात टाइटंस की सीमर्स में किसे आप बेहतर दर्जे पे रखेंगी?
गुजरात टाइटंस से मैं शुरुआत से कह रही हूँ कि गुजरात टाइटंस वन ऑफ द बेस्ट पेस अटैक है। क्यों उनको अलग करता है बाकी टीम से? क्योंकि सबके पास ना एक ऐसा पेस होता है जिसके पास स्पीड है, चाहे वहाँ पे ट्रेंट बोल्ट हो, उधर उमरान मलिक हो, लेकिन इनके पास शमी है, फर्गुसन है, यश दयाल है, इनके पास स्पीड है, मोहम्मद शमी है, इनके पास जो आज नहीं खेल रहे, उनको नाम याद नहीं आ रहा उनका, मैं नाम भूल गई, जो आज जो रिप्लेसमेंट किया जिन्होंने लॉकी फर्जन खेल रहे इनकी जगह, उनके पास पेस है। सो इनके पास ऐसे बॉलर्स हैं जो दोनों साइड से अटैक कर सकते हैं, वो इनको बाकी टीम से अलग करता है। सो मुझे लगता है कि अगर आपके पास एक्स्ट्रा पेस है तो आप प्रेशर भी क्रिएट कर सकते हो, और पेस के साथ इनके पास एक्सपीरियंस है, शमी के पास एक्सपीरियंस है, फर्गुसन के पास एक्सपीरियंस है, यश दलाल ऐसे प्लेयर आया है जिनके पास किसी का क्लू नहीं था कि किस तरह से बॉल डालते हैं, उन्होंने आके अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस दी है। तो कहीं ना कहीं एक अच्छी बॉलिंग यूनिट है जो विकेट लेना जानते हैं, और बीच में एक एड ऑन किया उन्होंने साई किशोर, जो लेफ्ट आर्म स्पिनर है, वो मुझे लगता है सबसे अच्छा एड ऑन है इस टाइम पे, क्योंकि डोमेस्टिक में ना पिछले कई सालों से वो रेगुलर परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं, टीएनटी में अच्छा परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं। सो ना केवल पेस भी, स्पिन अटैक भी इनके पास अच्छा है।
Bilkul. Debashish sir, I'll come to you. As I had asked you to predict, and you said that you are expecting it to be a high-scoring game today. Now we have Gujarat Titans opting to bat first, and Riddhiman Shah and Shubman Gill have been in their form of their lives, especially Riddhiman Shah. He perhaps has all the answers to bowlers of the opposition. How important will this opening pair be for Gujarat Titans? How much of the responsibility should they take upon themselves to post a handsome total and give their bowlers an opportunity to step up against RCB today?
Yeah, Shah has been excellent. I mean, ever since he got that opportunity, striking the runs at almost around 138. So and also Subman coming back to form in last few matches. So that augurs well for the Gujarat Titans.
Yes.
Especially quite impressed with Shah, the way he has took on the challenge of playing the opponent bowling at the power play and taking advantage of the power play. See, we know.
And he's made Shubman Gill's life a lot easier. Very good point.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
So
Absolutely. Very
I
correct.
won't be surprised. I won't be surprised if he sticks on with his game plan. Just go with tonking the bowlers at the start. So and they have been scoring runs at a good pace in the power play. So that to me is a huge advantage, because the middle order, once again, David Miller, the likes of Miller, Tewatia, Rashid Khan, Hardik, they have all been contributing runs. The key for me for Gujarat Titans would be the start they get from Saha and inform Saha and Shubman.
Rightly put. And Jaideep sir, I'll come to you. Speaking about RCB, Devashish sir, the previous encounter had said that if Virat Kohli scored a half century, he has his dance due, and he very calculatively Virat Kohli had scored a half century, probably to keep Devashish sir happy. But on a serious note, Virat Kohli, we cannot keep him out because he's such a world-class player. Do you see him playing the way we know, the Virat Kohli we know? Do you see him playing today that way?
We must have a show without talking about Virat Kohli. We're not talking about every player. Just leave the guy alone. He is once in a lifetime player. Everybody goes through this. Let's just leave him alone. One day we'll just on the TV, get a nice cup of tea. I'm in Kolkata. It's raining here, lovely weather, and we'll see Virat Kohli back. It's just a matter of time. It's just time to leave him alone.
Short, crisp, and to the point, because time and again, of course, Virat Kohli is such a classy player. There's nothing much to say
He's
about him because we all know that he'll come.
The Tendulkar,
Absolutely.
once in a lifetime player. We will know what Virat Kohli is when Virat Kohli is not playing anymore. Right now, we don't know what he means. Yeah, ups and downs. You look at the careers
Yes,
of
sir.
everybody, and I mean everybody in Indian cricket and world cricket.
Yes, sir.
Everybody's gone through a
Yes,
bit of
sir.
a lull. Now it's magnified even more because of media and everything else following the game, and IPL has taken it to everywhere. So everybody is commenting. The other day I was having some puchkas in Kolkata, and the puchka will ask me, "Virat Kohli kab run banayega?" So it's now become like that.
This,
Then
this
after
only
puchka,
this only shows, yes, sir.
yeah, I
This only
understand the
shows the
concern.
amount of popularity
No,
he
I
has.
understand
Yes,
the
sir.
concern with the expectations also. So you need to leave the guy alone for a little while. You know, he knows what he's going through. He's got his close people. He's got the people he will turn to. The people who made it, who helped him be Virat Kohli are with him, and they will also
Yes,
get
sir.
emotional. So just
Yes,
show
sir.
somebody else.
रीमा मैम, आप पे आऊंगी। आरसीबी की बॉलिंग से उनके पिछले ही मैच में हमने देखा कि जॉश हेजलवुड पर्टिकुलरली बहुत एक्सपेंसिव रहे थे उनके जैसे इतने एक्सपीरियंस्ड एक बॉलर। मोहम्मद सिराज थोड़े से ऑफ कलर लग रहे थे। आप कैसे उनकी बॉलिंग को डाइसेक्ट करेंगी? क्या लग रहा है आपको, कहाँ पे गलत हो रही है उनकी डिलीवरी से या उनके माइंडसेट से, या कहीं पे शायद वो बैट्समैन के स्टांस को रीड करने में गलती कर रहे हैं या पिच को रीड करने में गलती कर रहे हैं? आप कैसे डाइसेक्ट करेंगी?
देखिए, लगातार वो अच्छी बॉलिंग कर रहे थे। मुझे लगता है वो वन ऑफ डे था हेज़लवुड के लिए, क्योंकि उन्होंने स्टार्टिंग में आते ही विकेट्स भी लिया था, कंसिस्टेंट भी रहे थे, वो इकोनॉमिकल भी
जी।
रहे थे। सो कहीं न कहीं एक खराब दिन था उनका। मुझे लगता नहीं है कि हर दिन उनका खराब होगा। वो उनका एक ही तरीका
जी।
है, हिट द राइट लेंथ, वही उनका मंत्र है। उनको देख के मुझे मैकग्रॉथ की याद आती है, इसलिए मुझे लगता है कि उनको ज़्यादा छेड़खानी करने की
जी।
ज़रूरत नहीं है, एक्सपीरियंस उनके पास है। लेकिन आज अच्छा बदलाव किया। सिराज का लास्ट मैच नहीं, बल्कि लास्ट के 3-4 मैचेज़ जो थे, बहुत ज़्यादा
जी।
उन्होंने रन्स लीक किए थे। तो उनको
जी।
उनकी जगह पे सिद्धार्थ कौल का डेब्यू हो रहा है आरसीबी के लिए, बहुत अच्छा मूव है, क्योंकि ज़्यादा लोग ने एनालाइज़ नहीं किया, लेकिन उनका डेथ बॉलिंग काफ़ी अच्छा है। नकल बॉल वो डालते हैं, स्लोअर वन वो डालते हैं, यॉर्कर वो डालते हैं। पंजाब के लिए भी कंसिस्टेंट परफॉर्मर है काफ़ी साल से। तो वो एक अच्छा बदलाव है। आज उनका बर्थडे भी है, तो होपफुली आज अपने बर्थडे पे वो कुछ अलग करके दिखाएँगे। कई बार आप चेंजेस
वेरी गुड।
कई बार आप रेपुटेशन पे नहीं जाते, आप फॉर्म पे जाते हैं। हो सकता है कि सिद्धार्थ कौल काफ़ी टाइम से नेट पे अच्छी बॉल डाल रहे हों, तो ये इट इज़ द राइट टाइम, क्योंकि आज डू और डाई मैच है उनके लिए जीतना, और ये 2 पॉइंट्स हासिल करना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। इसलिए हेज़लवुड के साथ कोई ऐसा बॉलर अगर आता है, चाहे उन्होंने एक भी मैच नहीं खेला, लेकिन एक्सपीरियंस उनके पास है। सो अगर ओपनिंग में पावर प्ले में अच्छी बॉलिंग होती है, तो हसरंगा नीचे मिडल ऑर्डर में वो डैमेज कर सकते हैं। शाहबाज अपना रोल
जी।
बखूबी निभा रहे हैं। तो कहीं न कहीं एक सेटल
जी।
बॉलिंग यूनिट है, और उसके बाद आपके पास स्लोअर
जी।
वन स्पेशलिस्ट हर्षल पटेल तो हैं ही। तो एक
जी।
अच्छी बॉलिंग यूनिट हम इसे कह सकते हैं, लेकिन किस प्लानिंग के साथ आएँगे, सिर्फ़ मैं वो देखना चाहती हूँ कि आपके पास प्लान ए, प्लान बी दोनों होने चाहिए। स्पेशली अगर आप
जी।
गुजरात टाइटंस के अगेंस्ट खेल रहे हो।
जी। Prantik sir, I'll come to you. Gujarat Titans, the two, the batting brothers, we would say, Rahul Tewatia and David Miller, every time they come out to bat, Gujarat Titans perhaps just takes that comfort seat. Fine, we have the match with us. These two will make sure, from whatever the situation be, the match is on our side. At what position do you see these two coming to bat for Gujarat Titans, and how important a partnership will theirs be for Gujarat Titans to be able to put up a good total to defend?
Yeah, so I've usually found Tewatia especially to be great under pressure when chasing. When you need that 20 of the last over, or maybe anywhere between 15 to 20. I somehow see Tewatia to be in that mold. He needs to be in that pressure cooker situation. Miller, I think he could be both. He could sort of graft and he could sort of accumulate, and he could accelerate at the end. So I'm actually counting more, given that they are batting first. I'll be counting more on a Pandya Miller partnership than a Tewatia. Tewatia perhaps will come in lower, and in a non-chasing game, I'm not expecting much unless, of course, there's a top order collapse. To me, I think GT today is going to be very much around that opening pair, and then Miller and Pandya. So, and Miller, I mean, I've really enjoyed watching his comeback this season. Never easy. There's so much potential, so much
Yes, sir.
talk, but that one
Yes, sir.
big innings and then he's looked on song. So again, I love watching players like Faf and Miller, where they take the first 10, 12 balls, and uske baad, they are like full on blitzkrieg mode. So I'm looking forward to a Miller special tonight.
Not a Miller Light,
Absolutely. We
Miller
all
Heavy.
are hoping.
Miller Light, yes.
Sorry, sir?
Not a Miller Light. You want a Miller Heavy tonight.
Absolutely, Miller heavy. Absolute Miller heavy.
Ah, we all want that as cricket fans. We all want to enjoy that tonking and those massive sixes being hit. Debashi sir, I'll come to you. We are in this match more focusing on RCB being under pressure because it is a must-win game for them. How
They're
Faf
already
as a
under pressure
captain might
after
be.
Devashish with the t-shirt. Sorry. RCB is already under pressure seeing Devashish with this t-shirt. They're already
Ah,
I sometimes
no, we
wonder if
can.
Debashish has been given some sponsorship to sort of wear this on the show. He's
And you must
seriously-
and you must have it for 40 overs. You can't
Yeah.
put it on 30.
Come what may, if GT loses also, I will be in this same t-shirt.
That's what I
Devashi
like.
sir,
Wow.
your jersey,
Ekdam,
your,
ekdam,
your
ekdam.
jersey is on record. Your jersey is on record, so we are all witnesses.
I have heard too much about it that I keep changing the t-shirt in the mid innings. So
Last time,
take it from me. I will be putting on this t-shirt even for the post show.
putting
Even-
on a
Very good. No matter what the result. No
Not-
matter
And
what the
May
result.
29 and May 29, Gujarat Titans will be there in the final at Narendra Modi Stadium.
Wow,
not putting
what a-
on.
My
Not putting on. You're
goodness.
leaving it on. Putting on means you're taking it off. You're leaving it on.
Devashi sir is in full form today.
Always. Always.
Absolutely. Devashi sir, as I was saying that we are more focusing on how Faf might be in a bit more of pressure because this being a more important game for RCB. But let's talk about Hardik Pandya, the captain. Throughout the season, he has been phenomenal, be it his batting or be it his captaincy skills. But even this game, would you believe that he would also take it as a normal game, which has to be won? Let's keep it aside that Gujarat Titans have handsomely qualified for the playoffs. But how do you feel that even Hardik will be taking on this game?
No chance of Hardik taking it easy. As much as I know Hardik, having covered Indian cricket team over the last few years, I know he's a fierce competitor, as much like Virat Kohli mold. So he won't let that go because he has that winning momentum. As a captain, you would want to win. As the saying goes, when you are scoring runs, you keep that good form going. So same applies to the Gujarat Titans team as a whole. You are winning, you are doing well. So that's the reason they have not made too much of a change. Only one change, Lockie Ferguson coming in. So they have stuck with the same core. So I would see the same brand of cricket being played. No room for complacency. So you go down, you go there and to give it your best shot. That is what I expect of Hardik Pandya and the rest of the Gujarat Titans squad.
That sounds like he was in the team meeting.
Wearing the same jersey.
Perhaps
Okay,
they should hire me.
yes, sir.
Perhaps they should hire me.
They should.
They can't afford you.
You.
Acha, okay.
Oh. Jaideep sir, I would request you to elaborate on this point. I'll just add on to it that how would you say Hardik Pandya in this IPL, even the changes that he has made in his team time and again have worked wonders. Like that Gujarat Titans doesn't seem to make any mistakes. Even the other teams have made changes, but it hasn't worked for them on multiple occasions. But for Hardik Pandya, perhaps every time any change that he makes in his playing 11, it always works for him. How would you decode this thing? Is it the luck factor, or is it the kind of players that he has in the squad, or is it his captaincy skills? Sir.
Family, the ball is rolling for him. The ball is rolling for the team, rolling for him. It's happened before also. So whatever is touching into goal, and I can't credit Hardik with all of it because there's a backroom staff. Hardik is not the only decision maker. There's a coach, there's a mentor, there's an assistant coach. So there's a team that works. That goes with every team. I mean, Rimaji will agree with, so will Prantik and Devashish, who've been around teams a lot. And it's not one person who ever gets the credit. I think that's wrong. He's the face of it. He will come to the pre-match and post-match interview. But there's a coach, there's a mentor. And sometimes my experience with teams is that good advices come from sometimes a physio, sometimes a trainer who understand the game and said, why don't we try this guy at 3? It's happened with state cricket, and I've seen him. In KKR, we often had advice from sometimes people who were not the coach and the mentor, but somebody like an assistant coach who would come up with a really good idea. Like Sunil Narine opening the innings, not from the coach, from the captain, but from somebody else. And we know what Sunil Narine did opening the batting. So all I'm saying here is that it's credit will always go to everybody. Yeah, I would like to say Hardik and Co, because there's a team in place who's working. Hardik is the face of it, and this year things have rolled for them, so we need to make it count. Not every year will it roll for them. With this team, they might struggle also, because this game is about form. And if you don't have form, then it will not roll for you. Since it's in form, make hay while the sun shines.
Yes, absolutely. रीमा मैम, आप पे आऊंगी एक आखिरी सवाल आरसीबी के नजरिए से। आरसीबी के स्पिन डुओ ग्लेन मैक्सवेल और वनिंदु हसरंगा स्पेशली, आज उनका रोल क्या होगा आरसीबी के लिए? कितनी इफेक्टिव वो रहेगी और किस तरह से फाफ उनका इस्तेमाल करेंगी आज गुजरात को चोक करने के लिए?
देखिए, स्पिनर्स का रोल है बीच में आके विकेट लेने का, वही रोल रहेगा। लेकिन मैं चाहूँगी हसरंगा को जिस तरह से वो यूज़ कर रहे हैं ना, थोड़ा जल्दी उनको अटैक में लेके आना है, क्योंकि वो इस टाइम प्राइम फॉर्म में है। और अगर किसी टॉप टीम को आपने बीट करना है और आपने इस टूर्नामेंट में बने रहना है, सो उनका हर ओवर बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रहने वाला है। मैक्सवेल अपना रोल बखूबी निभा रहे हैं। देखिए, वो पार्ट टाइम बॉलर थे, या अब आप उनको प्रॉपर ऑलराउंडर कह सकते हैं, क्योंकि वो पावर प्ले में बॉल डाल रहे हैं, बीच में भी आके बॉल डाल रहे हैं, तो उनका भी रिदम अच्छा है। सो फैफ जो कर रहे हैं, जिस तरह से उनको यूज़ कर रहे हैं, वो अच्छी तरह यूज़ कर रहे हैं, बट उनके ओवर्स बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रहने वाले हैं, क्योंकि आज सिद्धार्थ कौल खेल रहे हैं। सो कौन सा बॉलर अपने 4 ओवर पूरे करेगा, कंप्लीट करेगा, उस पे भी नजरें रहेंगी। तो कैलकुलेटिव थोड़ा सा रहना पड़ेगा, और रहते भी हैं फैफ, जहाँ तक मैंने उनकी कैप्टनसी देखी है। सो कैलकुलेशन बहुत इफेक्टिव रहने वाली है। जैसे ऋषभ पंत ने एक ओवर कुलदीप यादव का छोड़ दिया था, एक बार राहुल ने चामीरा ने सिर्फ 17 रन दिए, तब उनका ओवर छोड़ दिया था। वो कोई गलती ना आया करे, क्योंकि बहुत ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट रहने वाले हैं हसरंगा के स्पेशली वो ओवर। वो टॉप 5 विकेट टेकर्स में भी हैं, और उनको रीड करना थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट भी हो रहा है, जैसे कि बॉल अभी ग्रिप कर रहा है। और थोड़ा बहुत अगर स्ट्रगल कहीं कर रही है जीटी, तो वो उनका बैटिंग में है। थोड़ा फॉर्म से जूझ रहे हैं कुछ प्लेयर्स, बिट्स एंड पीसेस में परफॉर्मेंस कर रहे हैं, तो वहां पे आप एडवांटेज ले सकते हैं पहले बॉलिंग करने का। अगर आप रिस्ट्रिक्ट करते हैं गुजरात टाइटंस को कम में, तो उसमें हर बॉलर का रोल काफी इंपॉर्टेंट रह सकता है, और आप मैच में बने रह सकते हैं।
जी बिल्कुल। प्रांतिक सर, a final one before we take up predictions. Personal battles, one batter from RCB and one bowler from Gujarat, and one batter from Gujarat and one bowler from RCB. Personal battles you would like to enjoy tonight?
I think from a GT bowling perspective, Rashid Khan, and I would want him to see, Rashid sort of bowl to, actually their top 3. I think Rashid to the top 3 would be an interesting one. Any of those, I think, just anyway difficult to sort of pick, and I want to see how do the, how does how do the Bangalore boys sort of face Rashid. On the other side, I think RCB bowling में से I'm really counting on Harshal Patel. I mean, one of my favorite bowlers. I think he has so much potential. He's done so well, and I want to see again, especially against the super attacking bats, the top 3 from Gujarat. I want to see how does Harshal sort of fare against them.
Very true. And it's prediction time. Let's have, starting with Reema ma'am, किसके साथ जाना चाहेंगी, आरसीबी या गुजरात?
Obviously, क्या पूछते रहते हैं?
सवाल पूछ के फायदा है नहीं, लेकिन फॉर्मेलिटी के लिए सवाल कर रहे हैं। फॉर्मेलिटी है ना, क्या करें?
Sunrise is in the east.
ये तो फॉर्मेलिटी है। चलिए।
लेकिन मैं चाहती हूँ कि आरसीबी जीते, क्योंकि फिर वो टूर्नामेंट बने रहे, अच्छी साइड लगती है। लेकिन मैं फिर भी जीटी के साथ जाऊंगी, क्योंकि बेस्ट टीम को बेस्ट ही खेलना चाहिए।
अच्छा, जयदीप सर।
Yeah, I'm going with GT, but I agree with Reema ji. I want RCB to be in the 4. I think they're a team good enough to be in the 4. I have not said this before, because I didn't think they were, but this year they're a team that deserves to be in the 4. They have the team to be in the 4, and if they're in the 4, one little thing on this: once you qualify, another tournament starts. Everybody forgets about who's 1, 2. Yeah, they have a little bit more leeway. They have 2 cracks of the cherry, but your form is you carry your form, but everybody feels new playing field. You don't really worry that you just made it and you're playing the team that's it's one game. You're sometimes 2 games away from the top. That's how close you are.
Prantik sir.
Going with RCB, I think I feel bad for I mean, I'm sure Punjab and SRH are hoping RCB loses, but something tells me the pressure will bring out the best. Faf, Virat, I'm looking forward to Virat. I think Rimaji was absolutely right. Said call Hasaranga. I mean, again, they have the potential, and maybe when they sort of feel, it's great. They should feel the pressure. This is IPL at the end of the day, and I think that will sort of bring out the best in them. So I'm rooting for RCB tonight.
Devashish obviously going for RCB. It's all over.
And Devashish sir, no point asking you. Rather, you will be on the radar today. Rather, you're on the radar today, and we are keeping an eye on your jersey color.
And there will be messages popping up on the group. Messages popping up on the WhatsApp group.
But why don't you predict the score? I mean, GT, what's the margin of victory, Devashish, tonight for GT?
Yeah.
Depends on how long the t-shirt is on for. Last time Gujarat was 113 and all of the t-shirt came off. Then
oh God, Devashish sir, don't make your jersey changing so vulnerable.
Then the opponents were 119 all out, then the jersey was back. A lot of things happened in that match.
Okay, so this was the pre-match analysis of match 67, RCB versus Gujarat Titans. We meet again in the post-match analysis of match number 67. Until then, enjoy the game and see you in the post-match show. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one. Thank you.